Texas A&M coming in at number 7 in the latest and final college football playoff rankings of the 2025 college football season. They will face the number 10 Miami Hurricanes in College Station December 20th at 11 a.m. So we get a home playoff game in Kyle Field. What a special opportunity for Texas A&M. For those of you who have tuned into the channel all season long, thank you for your viewership and your commitment. You may also notice a little bit of a different setting here. I am not in my typical studio. I'm actually headed out on vacation out east on the Amtrak train. So far, been a good experience, but that will not stop me from getting out my immediate reaction to the latest rankings. So I will keep it pretty short, pretty sweet. Don't have a ton of resources to keep it really long. But for those of you watching, maybe checking out the channel for the first time, please like and subscribe, comment with your thoughts on A&M's matchup against the Miami Hurricanes. And I will plan once I get back home, we'll do a deep dive into this matchup against the Hurricanes, get into some numbers and some matchups to watch for this game. But for now, I think for me, I really like this initial first matchup for Texas A&M against the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, offensively, they've got Carson Beck, who transferred in from Georgia. He's been pretty good for Miami this year. I believe he's got over 3,000 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. But he's had his moments of just being a really good, sound quarterback. And then obviously having Malachi Toney, star true freshman for the Hurricanes, who's really broke onto the scene this season. He's near 1,000 yards receiving. He's just a really talented playmaker. Very for I think in comparison to A&M, kind of a Malachi Toney. He's 5'11". I think he's got a really similar frame to KC Concepcion, and kind of just has similar athletic ability to Concepcion. And we know as Aggie fans what Concepcion has been able to do this season. So those are just a couple guys on the offensive side for Miami. And then also A&M, I think this is going to be a really intriguing matchup defensively, going against Miami's offense. And then also A&M's offense going up against Miami's defense. Miami, they've got some really good linebackers, some really good defensive backs. They've got a good edge rusher in Ruben Bain Jr. He, at one point of the season, probably for the first 5 to 6 weeks of the season, he was in the Heisman conversation as a defensive lineman. So just really talented guy for Miami on that side of the ball. And like I said, Miami, they've got some dudes over there. So it's going to be a really interesting matchup for A&M offensively, seeing what Marcel Reed and Concepcion and Craver. Hopefully A&M will have Le'Veon Moss back at running back. And then obviously with the recent news of Colin Klein taking the Kansas State head coaching position, going to be really interesting to see how focused he is. He said the other day that he will finish coaching and calling plays through the college football playoff, which is good news for A&M, but he's also got to balance getting things going there at Kansas State. So that could be a little bit of a disadvantage for A&M. Obviously, it's going to be, for anybody, for any guy, it's going to be really hard to juggle two responsibilities at once. But the hope is that Klein will be locked in, have a good game plan for A&M to have the most success, especially offensively. But yeah, I really like this matchup for A&M. I think it's, just going to be a special time, just getting a home playoff game for the first time ever in Kyle Field. So really looking forward to this matchup. I'm glad it wasn't Notre Dame again. Not that I was necessarily afraid to face Notre Dame again, but, we already played them earlier this season, and it kind of felt like Notre Dame with Jeremiah Love and CJ Carr, they're just playing some really, really good football. Jeremiah Love might be up in New York for the Heisman ceremony, so we'll keep an eye on that and see where that falls. But anyways, yeah, Notre Dame misses the playoff, and A&M draws the Miami Hurricanes for their first playoff game ever. So what a special time, special opportunity for A&M. I think A&M, coming off the loss to Texas, they've still got a lot to prove. I think from my perspective, I hope that A&M comes out just motivated and just playing, with something to prove. They've got a lot to prove, and I think Marcel Reed is going to have to play, as I said recently in an episode, he's going to have to play clean football in order to have success here in the postseason. That's going to be one of the most important things, I think, for me is Marcel Reed just taking care of the football. And then we'll see how injuries that A&M has had shape up with who they'll get back. Obviously, Le'Veon Moss, hopefully Scooby Williams. I think having this break for A&M is going to be a huge advantage. In Miami, they've also had a break for some time since they missed the ACC championship. So we have two well-rested teams going head-to-head. I like A&M, having them, being at home in Kyle Field, having that home advantage. So we'll see. But as I said, keeping this short, that is my instant reaction. So for those of you who've watched this far, thank you. Thank you for checking out the channel. Please subscribe. Please comment. As I said, I plan once I get home, have a little bit better resources, better internet. I hope to do a deeper dive into this matchup and, of course, give my final prediction for this first playoff game that A&M will have. So until then, I'm going to sign off and thank y'all. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, gig 'em. God bless.